今オフにエンゼルスからフリーエージェント、FA となった大谷翔平。現球界で唯一無二と評される二刀流で異次元の成績を残してきた異彩が、どの球団と契約を締結するのかが、連日のように世間を賑わせています。しかし、大谷の代理人ネズ・バレロ氏をはじめとする本人側は、完全黙秘を貫いており、交渉の進展状況や大谷の希望条件などの具体的な情報はわからないままです。米メディアでも、大谷の動向は不透明なままだという声が聞こえるほど、お手上げといった状態です。そんな中、アメリカのポッドキャスト番組、ファウルテリトリーでは、トロントブルージェイズに所属するウィット・メリフィールド外野手が出演し、沈黙を貫く大谷に対して、
彼の姿勢には納得だよ。
と、理解を示していましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
But Shohei Ohtani's a free agent. We talked about him, a little bit on the show. So I'm curious, obviously, not from the free agent perspective, but from media availability perspective, what are obligations for players, if any? We get this question a lot from fans. They're like, is there anything in a contract for a player that he has to speak? Some people were disappointed that Ohtani didn't speak the other day after winning the MVP. Obviously, he doesn't want to have the conversations like we're having, right? Is there anything for players that says that they have to speak, and not just the offseason, but even just after games? And if not, do you think there should be? Because
yeah, I mean, during the season, I don't know the exact stipulation, but I think there is some sort of bylaw or something in our contract that says we have to engage with the media about talking to the media, and then after one game, you're like, I got to get out of here. My family's here. I want to go. I want to be quick out of the locker room today. I'm not going to talk to the media today. That's there's no problem with that. But as far as doing it every day, I don't think you can get away with that. But in the off season, when you're a free agent, you don't have a binding contract with another team. So I don't think there's anything that can keep a player from just being like, you know what, I'm not going to talk about what's going on. And frankly, I think that's a pretty good move from Shohei.
水面下で静かに進められている大谷の交渉。この現状を米球界の関係者たちは、
大谷と彼の代理人であるネズ・バレロが契約に向けたプロセスの間でプライバシーと仕事上の慎重さを要求しているということだ。
と指摘。
大谷との契約で求められる第一のルールは公私を問わず、交渉内容や進展具合を明かさないこと。たとえ一般的に知られているような話や噂話であっても、その話題を口にすることを禁止されている。
との認識が広まっているといいます。おそらく二刀流選手の FA は史上初と言っても過言ではありません。それだけ大きな価値がある選手を獲得できるとなれば、球界関係者たちが情報を漏らさぬようにピリつくのも無理もない話なのかもしれません。また、エンゼルス専門の米ポッドキャスト番組、ロックドーンエンジェルスでは、フリーエージェントとなり他球団との交渉を進めている大谷について、
今季エンゼルスは大谷をトレードに出すべきだったのか
の議論を繰り広げていましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
Yeah. Hey, Mario L6095 on YouTube, he said, let's go back in time to the 2023 trade deadline. Knowing what we know now, do you trade Ohtani or do you keep him hoping that you can re-sign him? What do you think, Mike?
I look at I know Bo Porter got a lot of garbage and a lot of heat for the suggested trade about, I think it was the Mets versus trading with the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
But I look back at some of those names, and I think the Angels got to make a move like that, especially if they had a plan in place. And that would be the thing that, Mario, I would want to see the Angels do. I wouldn't say, hey, in hindsight, yeah, we probably should have made a move. But the truth is that even if we made the move, it still doesn't feel like the Angels had a plan at the time. It just kind of felt like, as you pointed out, Johnny, last second cramming for a test. Okay, we're going to do it, right? And I think that knowing that we have a manager now and a coaching staff that seems to have a strategy, then it would make sense to not have to go and trade Shohei Ohtani. But with Phil Nevin here and Matt Wise here and all those guys, I would lean in the direction of, yeah, they should have made that move and should have seen what they could get in some of the young guys. And I would also push back on some of the trades that they made where people are like, you're getting rid of all these young guys from your minor league system. I know of two names, Coleman Crowe being one of them, where they weren't protected in the what's the draft?
The Rule 5 draft.
The Rule 5 draft. They weren't protected. The Angels could have The Angels could have gotten them again. And what we found out and what we're finding out over the last couple of years is that when the Angels have these guys that they have to send through waivers to send back down to the minors, nobody puts claims on
Nobody wants them,
right? And so everybody freaking out about, we traded the farm system for all of this. We lost a bunch of guys. Like, I think the only name that I'm super excited about is Edgar Caro and maybe even a Kai Bush, and that's it.
Those two are the ones that are disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else, it just feels like they're kind of in the air. They're kind of floating out there. And so I think we need to temper our anger about like, there's nobody there and we can't have a young minor league system, right? Like all of that has been proven to be a waste of breath, right?
Yeah. I was chatting with Sully over on Locked On MLB, and he said, you didn't get anything for Ohtani. And the one thing I forgot to mention was that Ohtani didn't want to be traded.
Yeah,
he didn't want to leave. He wanted to win with the Angels. He wanted to go for it with the Angels. And so kind of going back to Mario's question is, would you trade him knowing what you know now? I mean, yeah, like on that premise, yes, because if I'd have known it was going to be a complete disaster, then yeah, totally would have done that.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were going for it with Ohtani, I think spoke to him. He also wanted to be on the team and try to win it all. And not even Ohtani knew it was going to fall apart like that.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, I think that it was better that they went for it with Ohtani because he wanted to be there. He wanted to be part of it. He wanted to see the team go far. They were 3 games out of a wild card spot.
Right.
And so everybody's saying, why'd they go for it? And they didn't have a chance. They had more of a chance than the Yankees and all those guys. Like they had the chance, and they were 3 games out of it. And you saw how that first place Texas team went down to a first place wild card team. I should say the wild card number 1 spot, because anything can happen in baseball. And so nobody could have predicted what the standings would have looked like. Nobody could have predicted how they fell apart. So all that to say, I'm glad they stuck with Ohtani because that's what he wanted at the end of the day.
エンゼルスは今季、プレーオフに進出して大谷との再契約を目指すか、大谷を放出して多くの有望株を獲得するかの決断に迫られていました。結果、プレーオフを目指すことにしましたが、その目標は実現できませんでした。勝利を求めている大谷は他球団への移籍が有力視されており、これに対し、エンゼルス専門メディアのヘイローズトゥデイのケーレブ・グエン記者は、
愚かにもペリー・ミナシアン GM は大谷を手放さず、期限までの間、彼のトレードの話を全て打ち切った。
と非難。そして、
さらに悪いのは、大谷がロースター全体の負傷のために、ほぼ一人でポストシーズンへの道を戦おうとしたことだ。マイク・トラウトとアンソニー・レンドンの長期欠場は、大谷の肘にあまりにも大きな負担をかけ、そのために彼の体は最終的に壊れてしまった。
とチーム内で故障が相次ぐ中、投打でフル稼働し、故障離脱した大谷の現状を憂いていました。結果から見たら、大谷はトレードされず怪我をして戦線離脱。FA となった大谷は他球団への移籍が有力視されていることから、エンゼルスにとっては、一番高く売れた昨季のトレード期限までに大谷を放出するのが最善の策だったとの声が、アメリカでは多く聞かれています。これからも大谷の活躍から目が離せません。皆様からのコメントもお待ちしております。